Chapter 65. Ashley watched Jeff pace between two hospital beds. He had his right hand fixed on his hip, his left hand cupping his chin, struggling to make the best of their situation. She was glad he was with her. He was a good man, a rarity in her life. She hoped he could make things better, and yet at the same time, she wondered if her being with them would only cause things to worsen. "Okay," he said confidently. "It's 2:55 a.m. Let's develop a plan." "I'm listening," grumbled Donald, giant hands fisted. "I don't feel quite comfortable beginning it, since I was so wrong before." He glanced at Laura sleeping. Then he opened his left fist and looked at the empty palm. His face crinkled in sadness. Ashley wondered the reason for this sadness. She remembered a gold wedding band he wore in the dream, but in reality it wasn't present. Did he miss his ex-wife? Did he wonder whether he was still married to her in reality? Wondering whether she was out there looking for him right now? She found herself missing the dream world's protection from the truth. In reality, a janitor had molested her. Who wanted to embrace that? Also, here, she was partly responsible for Charlie's death. If she never existed, Tina might still have a father. Grosse struggled in her arms. She set him down, and he trotted to the hall, turned, and stared at her. Just how good of a person could she be if her very existence caused the death of a good father, and her very being caused terrible grief in Tina? Grosse walked back to Ashley, whined, and nuzzled her feet. What was this strange dog up to? She picked him up, and instantly she felt some of her guilt lift. He was wonderful, and she could tell he loved her. That must mean something, right? He wouldn't love a bad person, would he? With Ron, Grosse had growled, bit, and been ferocious. He didn't like that man, but Grosse saved her, cared for her, and saw something good in her. She believed animals were excellent judges of character. Could this dog be wrong? Grosse wiggled in her arms, so excited he couldn't keep still. He tried to reach her face and lick it, but she held him far enough away so he could only lap her neck. "How about if you and Tina stay here with Laura, and Ashley and I go down to the first floor to find out what's there?" "I want to be with Laura when she wakes," Ashley said, without hesitation, her voice trembling with conviction. "She sort of saved me, even if I don't like this world so much." Jeff nodded. "That sounds better. This room is probably safer." Ashley put Grosse down. "Okay, you and Tina stay here, and Donald and I will go downstairs." Everybody agreed. Donald and Jeff left. Nobody discussed where Grosse would go. The dog made his own decisions. He stayed with her. She sat on the edge of Laura's bed, and he lay by her feet. As her guilt returned, an awkward silence grew between her and Tina. She couldn't look the blonde girl in the eyes. Her guilt weighed her down so much it was like she became a part of the floor. Tina sat on the bed beside her. "I'm so sorry. What happened to you?" Tears fell from the girl's eyes. She couldn't believe Tina was thinking of her feelings now. After all Tina had been through, she was still able to think of Ashley. This made her feel worse. Tina was too good, too selfless, and too caring. The girl didn't deserve even a fraction of the loss Ashley had caused her. It must have been terrible. Tina choked on the last word. He had no right. You've already been sad enough tonight. Please don't. I want to. She swallowed. You're my friend. Her body hitched in sobs. I don't have many friends. Ashley felt herself moving closer to the younger girl, and then hugging this sweet person. If she has ever had a sister, she would want her to be like Tina. But ever since Carlos entered her life, she lost the desire for a sister, because then her sister would be at risk of molestation. Mom still brought perverts home with her, men who leered at Ashley when she walked to get something from the kitchen. She would have been devastated when one night she wouldn't be able to protect her own flesh and blood. Maybe she deserved her tormented life, but not Tina. No way, never Tina. Grazé whined mournfully below them. She released Tina. You don't want to be my friend. I'm no good. How can you say that? I only hurt people around me. Tough luck, Tina insisted. I am your friend. I'm sorry for your dad. It might not have happened if I hadn't been around. Tina frowned. I don't understand. Bad things happen around me. Bad things happen around everyone, she said, matter-of-factly. It's just a part of life. It's not your fault. How can you be sure? I know, but how? I do. I believe in you. Ashley huffed. I'll let you down. The girl didn't answer right away. I knew he was dead. Huh? Before we even got there, I felt it. How? I don't know, but I knew there was nothing I could have done, and certainly nothing you could have done. Ashley didn't know what to say. Did we even leave that world? Sometimes I feel like I don't know what's real anymore. Is this real? Are you here talking with me? Of course. Ashley thought for a moment. I think it's normal to feel detached. I read once, we don't know when we hurt too much. It's a way to protect ourselves. It's healthy as long as we don't stay in it too long. What if it isn't that? What if we're still in the dream? Tina was breathing hard, eyes bulging. We didn't know before when we were in the dream. We could still be there, just in a different part. My dad, She knew where this was going. I know you want him still alive. I want that too. Maybe he is. Maybe he just moved on to the real world, and we're still in the dream. Ashley hugged the girl. More defeated, Tina sighed. Maybe he was never real. She hugged the girl tighter. Don't say that. But she let her mind ponder if she were really hugging Tina, or just the thought of Tina. No, this was real. This was the real world. Tina's father had died. Ashley had been molested. Jeff and Donald were here too, in this hospital with her. Laura was still soundlessly asleep. Grazé whined and nuzzled her ankles. It was real. Grazé was real. She and Tina were really hugging. It had to be. The words finally came out. "This is real." "But how do you know?" Ashley couldn't answer that.